Wendy's is a hamburger fast food chain that started in 1969. Thank you for your suggestion.
It certainly is a big bun.
It's a very big bun.
Big fluffy bun.
It's a very big fluffy bun.
Where's the beef?
Some hamburger places give you a lot less beef on a lot of bun.
Where's the beef?
At Wendy's, we serve a hamburger we modestly call a single. And Wendy's single has more beef than the Whopper or Big Mac. At Wendy's, you get more beef and less bun.
Hey, where's the beef? I don't think there's anybody back there.
You want something better. Your Wendy's kind of...
Dave Thomas was involved in the food industry for most of his adult life. Serving in the Army during the Korean War, Thomas attended the Army's Cook and Baker's School and became the youngest soldier ever to manage an enlisted men's club. In Germany, Thomas was a cook and staff sergeant, feeding up to 2,000 people a day. One of Thomas's important mentors was Harlan Sanders, the founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken, a restaurant chain who he met in the mid-1950s. Sanders impressed Thomas with his flair for promotion and commitment to quality fast food. When Thomas's boss at the Hobby House, Phil Kloss, failed to make profitable 4 restaurants in Columbus, Ohio, he proposed that Thomas take over their management and, in exchange for paying off the restaurant's debts, would receive a partial ownership of the chains. Against the advice of Colonel Sanders and friends who thought the nearly bankrupt stores were unsalvageable, Thomas took up the challenge. He realized that the stores were failing because the store's 100-item menu was intimidating and confusing to customers. He made them Kentucky Fried Chicken franchises, reducing their menu to include mainly chicken and salad, and introduced the famous rotating bucket of chicken sign that became a KFC trademark. Trading buckets of chicken for radio advertising, Thomas began to make the stores profitable, adding 4 additional locations in the Columbus area. In 1968, Thomas sold the restaurants back to the KFC company for $1.5 million. Thomas then took a position at the parent company as a regional operations director, but left KFC within a year. He helped found the Arthur Treacher's fish and chips chain, but longed to build his own chain that would specialize in hamburgers. In Thomas's view, McDonald's and Burger King were dominating the hamburger fast food business. Were not selling the kinds of hamburgers he liked. He would offer a variety of toppings using fresh meat instead of frozen patties and be cooked to order rather than prepared in advance. Detecting a niche in the fast food hamburger market for quality fresh food, Thomas opened the first Wendy's old-fashioned hamburger restaurant on November 15, 1969, and was located at 257 East Broad Street in Ohio's capital city of Columbus. And the laid-back restaurant was soon a favorite for plenty of burger-loving locals. In 1969, his 8-year-old daughter, Melinda Liu, provided the inspiration for the name of his chain of hamburger restaurants. Her siblings mispronounced her name as Wenda, eventually becoming the nickname Wendy. With an original menu of hamburgers, chili, french fries, soft drinks, and the frosty dairy dessert, Thomas created a relaxed and homey atmosphere. The Wendy's old-fashioned hamburgers decor differed from other fast food joints that abounded with easy clean vinyl and tiled surfaces. Instead, Thomas put in Tiffany-style lamps, bentwood chairs, carpeting, and tabletops embellished with the vintage newspaper advertisements. Although his ideas were refreshingly original, some industry experts criticized Thomas's use of expensive fresh beef and noted that the fast food industry seemed overcrowded. With all of the criticism, Thomas hoped only for a local chain of only a few Wendy's locations that would provide his children with summer jobs. In November of 1970, the joint pioneered what Wendy's now terms as the world's first modern drive-thru. Back then, Dave called it the pickup window and took delight in schooling customers on how to use the newfangled speaker system. That same year, Thomas opened a second location, and he soon began franchising his idea in 1972. Due to their popularity and expanding on his franchising ideas, in 1973, Thomas began selling Wendy's franchises for entire cities and regions in an unprecedented innovation in the industry. In the next decade, more than 1,000 franchises had opened. Wendy's went public in 1976 with an offering of 1 million common shares and had 500 locations by year's end. In the late 1970s, Thomas agonized over whether to stray from his original menu and vision by introducing a salad bar and reluctantly agreed to the change. When salad bars proved to be a considerable success, Thomas, who had grown tired of the bureaucratic side of the business, decided it was time for him to step down. The chain's rapid expansion was supported by Wendy's first national advertising campaign in 1977. The effort earned Wendy's another entry in the history books. It became the first chain with less than 1,000 restaurants to launch on network television commercials. Hot and Juicy ran for 3 years. It boasted 1,767 sites in the US, Canada, Puerto Rico, and Europe, and had opened more than 750 restaurants from February of 1978 to November of 1979. Averaging nearly 1.5 stores each day. A recession in the early 1980s, combined with high beef prices and Wendy's explosive as well as threatening growth, incited the burger wars. Wendy's moved into the number 3 spot behind McDonald's and Burger King, fueled by its introduction of a chain-wide salad bar, chicken breast sandwiches, and baked potatoes. Burger King and McDonald's responded with their unsuccessful menu extensions of their own, then moved to a hard-nosed ad campaign. In 1982, Thomas gave up his title as chief executive of Wendy's and hands-on executive supervision, retaining the title of senior chairman. In October of 1983, Wendy's introduced the baked potato. Die-hard Wendy's fans still swear by the sour cream and chive baked potato, or a fluffy spud heaving under steaming chili and oozing cheese. In 1984, Wendy's teamed up with celebrated commercial director on a campaign that registered the highest consumer awareness levels in the advertising industry's history, in addition to captivating judges at the 1984 Clio Awards and winning 3 of the industry's highest honors. The Where's the Beef campaign consisted of 4 network television spots starring senior citizen Clara Peller. It was voted the most popular commercial in America in 1984. Wendy's achieved great success with its Where's the Beef ad campaign, achieving such public recognition that Walter Mondale used a line in his debate with George Bush during the 1984 presidential campaign. Despite record profits in 1985 of $76 million, a huge investment in a breakfast program failed because of made-to-order omelets and French toast could not be produced fast enough to satisfy customers, and many franchises were purchased by owners who were unconcerned about Wendy's high standard of customer service and quality products. In 1986, with a $5 million loss and company morale dropping, Thomas hired James Neer as Wendy's new president. Neer assumed the position with the condition that Thomas would come out of retirement as the company's spokesman and morale booster. Thomas toured franchises and encouraged his troops with a simple business wisdom that had served the company so well and seemed to have been forgotten. He stressed that each of the Wendy's employees should have an MBA, a mop bucket attitude that stressed cleanliness and customer services. Better training and incentive programs, including an employee stock option plan, helped create team spirit and company loyalty that had eroded. Thomas next turned to advertising to help communicate the message about Wendy's philosophy of quality food at a reasonable price. Dave Thomas was such an earnest pitchman to Wendy's advertising agency that members of the agency convinced him to star in Wendy's commercials, despite his ordinary looks, deadpan approach, and lack of polished diction or skill as an actor. Wendy's commercials starring Thomas succeeded precisely because of his ordinary qualities. In 1988, Wendy's expanded its bar to a full-blown buffet called the Super Bar for $2.99. While popular, it was difficult to maintain, and it would be discontinued in 1998. Starring in some of the most popular television ads, Thomas helped Wendy's rebound to a $51 million profit in 1991. Wendy's went on something of a health kick in the early 1990s. This is an era that the chain introduced its grilled chicken sandwich in 1990, and also its boxed salads in 1992. Diners watching their waistline could feast on lighter chicken burgers, or choose between a taco Caesar, deluxe garden, or a grilled chicken salad. The company opened its 4,000th restaurant in 1992. Wendy's recovery seemed well established in the mid-1990s, judged not by their numbers, but by the public opinion as well. Consumer polls in 1994 judged Wendy's to have the best food in the fast food burger business, the best menu variety, and the most pleasant atmosphere. In 1996, Wendy's unveiled another enduring menu favorite, the spicy chicken sandwich. As Wendy's moved into the late 1990s, management focused on maintaining the momentum the company had generated in the early 1990s with an emphasis on street-level operations, marketing, and efficient administration. Continued expansion remained a priority as well. Wendy's numbered 5,100 stores in 1997, up from 4,500 stores in 1994. In early 2002 also brought an end to an era at Wendy's International with the death of Dave Thomas on January 8th as a result of complications from liver cancer. Thomas had become an American icon, having starred in more than 800 commercials from 1989 to 2002 in what had been the longest-running advertising campaign in history featuring a company founder. Another legend of the Wendy's menu was born in 2007 in the form of the Baconator. The burger legend spawned another iteration in 2012. The son of the Baconator is a smaller but equally delicious version with a little less bacon and smaller patties. In mid-2007, Wendy's started serving breakfast again in its US and some Canadian locations. In November of 2010, the Wendy fries of yore were replaced with a natural cut option made from skin-on russet potatoes and finished with sea salt. In October of 2011, the chain introduced a new and improved burger line called Dave's Hot and Juicy Cheeseburgers. In 2012, Wendy's began a dramatic shape-shifting process that saw sleek new restaurants and, most dramatic of all, a transformed logo. Unveiled in 2013, it was the first big logo change in 3 decades. The blocky letters were gone, as was the old-fashioned Hamburgers line. The Wendy's app was launched in 2012, and then the introduction of the self-order kiosk from 2017, a trend mirrored by other fast food heavyweights. By 2019, this self-service tech was in around 2/3 of Wendy's restaurants. Wendy's began remodeling existing stores and upgrading the curb appeal of its locations. They've been doing this by adding fireplaces, more seating options, adding Wi-Fi and flat-screen TVs, as well as digital menus. In 2017, the company sold 540 of its restaurants. The divestiture was the second step in a 3-step action plan to improve the brand. Other steps included new openings and remodeling of existing stores. In 2015, the brand opened 80 new restaurants and remodeled 450 of its existing locations. The brand's goal was to remodel at least 60% of its North American locations by the year 2020. In December of 2017, Wendy's announced a partnership with DoorDash for food delivery in the US. In 2020, Wendy's offered breakfast offerings at all locations company-wide. In February 2024, the company announced a plan to explore dynamic pricing, or surge pricing, where a cost of menu items would change throughout the day depending on timing or purchases and restaurant activity in early 2025. The reaction was largely negative, and the company decided against the move the next month. Today, Wendy's is the world's third largest burger chain, trumped only by McDonald's and Burger King. As of November of 2023, there are 7,166 Wendy's outlets, of which 415 are company-owned and 6,751 are franchised. So what do you remember about this place? Leave a comment or a suggestion for a future video below. And if you haven't already, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.
Bringing back memories from the good old days. That's super cool, man.